Good morning and welcome to another episode of SmartFox TV. If you like our shows, please don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe. After watching yourself, what do you think you're going to change? Or do you feel like there was anything like, I'm not doing that anymore?
No. I you know what, I didn't, because truthfully they really made us look good.
Oh, okay.
they really did.
I think we're our worst critic,
Yeah,
like, oh my God, hey, why do I do that?
I can be, and I am daily as a coach. And coaches are like that to themselves. Like, I can't believe, like, I messed up that practice. I messed up that interaction. That kid should have been working on that. Those were the wrong things we did during that game. Like, we're really hard on ourselves.
Yeah.
But the show made it look like we're like basketball geniuses.
Yeah,
like,
genius.
And we're not.
Well, obviously, I mean, you guys did great. That was amazing.
Well, yeah, that's so much. That's my dog, Bodie.
Well, we saw him in the movie too, or in the show too.
Hey, Bodie's a star, man.
Yeah, we saw him.
Yeah, he was in it. I walk him every day, miles, because he's so wild. If I don't get something out of him, he acts crazy.
He looks like my dog. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you, my favorite part was when you guys were on the trip.
Oh yeah, that was fun. That was fun. That they made that look like what it was.
Did they? It was.
Yeah, that was a really good portrayal of the trip.
That was great. I love the way it really made us as the viewer, see how you guys were just so bonding, and that fun part when they were making fun of the coach. And
oh my gosh, that was hilarious.
And the cooking.
Oh my gosh, that was they showed me like one time cooking, right? But hey, I'm cooking for like 23 people.
I saw that.
That took forever. And then in the morning, I had to make breakfast.
Oh, wow.
And so I had to do that all over again for 23. I mean, I spent hours and hours. We're probably up there for 20 hours. I spent 7 of it cooking. I was cooking like the entire time. But I mean, I enjoy cooking. If I get the right playlist, I'll just ride it out and cook as long as I need to.
It looked like they were having fun.
Yeah, it was, and that's everyone I've spoken to. That episode really resonated with them because it was pretty authentic how the kids reacted, and that's the thing that I don't know if they showed enough of our coach. Like, our coach is cool like that. He's just intense during practice because he wants the best, but he's really a fun guy. He really is, and we have a great time every day in the office and when we're in the vans together, like me and the coach. He's really fun guy. He's really cool. And so sometimes the players don't get to see all that coolness.
Yeah.
Because he's always coming at them, So when they were doing that to him, he liked it as much as they did.
That was funny. I also like the one part where the kids, the players were kind of making fun of the way he cusses.
Oh yeah, he's the best I've ever heard at cussing you out without saying a cuss word. Like, he's the best I've ever heard.
That was hilarious. I love that part.
He at you.
And then I actually also had some tearful moments. I don't know if you did watching it.
Oh yeah, it was because I was so far removed from the end of that you almost forget. Like, I know what happened and I know how it happened, but I hadn't had an emotional response to that since that day. But when John came on the bus and said it's over, you really felt it.
Yeah.
And I remember that feeling, and then being in there and the kids' faces. That was the thing as a coach. Like, we were in there because you're looking around the room and they're in, like, it's half disbelief, half desperation. It was like they're all like, I can't believe, like this was it, because it wasn't just East LA that shut down. Like, the world shut down that day.
Mm-hmm.
It was, everybody did, and it was really hard. It was very difficult to watch the kids walk out of that locker room into the unknown.
Yeah,
that very hard because I've been a part of their lives every day since August 26th. And every day they leave, I know what they're doing the next day. I know what the plan is. So you have like that sense of peace because like, you know what, we know what tomorrow brings. We know what's going on. But I mean, that same day, the school itself said, hey, school's shut down. Nobody's coming on campus again. You turn on the TV, everything is shutting down everywhere. Sports, places of business, like everything on that day, like it was Friday the 13th and it was all going bad. Everything was going bad that day. And so when they walked out there, it was the unknown. I'm like, is the pandemic? I mean, I'm joking, but I was like, are they going to turn into zombies? I don't know what this. I didn't know what it was. Mm-hmm. You know, nobody knew what was going on, and I know how much the kids struggle, and they didn't come back on campus. Like they left that day, mm-hmm. and we saw. I mean, I didn't see any of them until summer.
Wow.
I didn't see any, and Coach saw maybe a couple guys.
So they did okay though, right? Everything.
Yeah. I mean, they went online. They finished their stuff. They got their AAs. They signed their scholarships, and it was all through what we're doing now. But we didn't get to see them again. And when I say they disbanded quick, we have a kid from DC, Washington DC, and I was really worried about him because his roommates were California kids, but he was from DC. Mm-hmm. And that day, those kids got picked up by their parents and went back to wherever they're from. So I was really worried about one of our players from DC. And so, and everything that was going on. And when I found out 2 days after that last day, I'm like, oh man, so-and-so left and so-and-so left. I'm like, oh, what's up with my boy? I got to hit up my player and see if he's okay. So I called him on Monday. I'm like, hey man, you doing all right? What do you need? I was thinking maybe I need to bring him out to the house. I'm like, what am I going to do? And he's like, nah, coach, I'm good. I'm in Washington, DC.
Oh, wow. So you made it back.
Like that fast though. Like the kids went home and it all shut down like that fast and it was over. So one day we're getting on a bus after practicing going to play in a championship. And then 2 days later, 15 kids are all off on different places. They're all over the country. And the whole thing was disbanded. It's been a real interesting year. I'll say that. I tell everybody 2020 was year of the side hustle. That's just what it was. Definitely. Whatever you thought it was going to be something else.
Definitely.
Everything you did.
The year of the side hustle.
Yeah.
So what is it in for? Are you guys going to do a part 2?
Well, that's very fluid, but there's interest in it for sure. There's a lot of interest in it, and I think there's a lot of interest in our story to see if we could really do it, you know. But the thing with junior college is every year it's a different cast of characters.
Right.
It's not like a 4-year where they stay for 4 years.
Right.
Yeah, our kids stay 1 year, maybe 2. So it's a different cast of characters, and we have we have a really talented team right now that could have played this year. That nobody's going to get to see. We hope to be able to do something in April and May to showcase them. Maybe not in games, but in something else.
That sucks.
But the actual Last Chance U franchise itself, they've showed there's been talks and interest, but just like with these things with last year, it's really not set in stone until it's really set in stone. Like it can all change in a matter of just like, and then it not happen. So I know the want is there from a lot of different areas. Uh-huh. And us as a staff are pretty comfortable with the whole thing, which makes it easier for them to do it because we're comfortable with the directors, the producers, the camera.
Start all over.
Yeah, it wouldn't be that difficult of a transition to go to season 2 rather than them going somewhere else. Right. I would think, but it could happen. And as of now, I'm on board to go back to ELAC, especially with the new job with Method. Mm-hmm. Which allows me to go to my basketball office every day. Well, I think the reason why we're so successful was the roles that all 3 of us played, and that's for sure. Coach Hunter, who's an incredible recruiter, and who keeps the kid like the kids don't come there without Coach Hunter, and they don't leave without Coach Hunter.
That's cool.
He is so connected with colleges. The man knows everybody in the country that does this at every level. So he's there. and then you can't do it without John, who puts it all together. And I was just having the conversation, right before we came up here with my wife about it, and I was telling her how impactful I was the 3 hours leading up to practice, and then the 2 hours after practice.
Yeah.
But those 2 hours, it's like the coach kind of does a lot of that and kind of just backing up. But my impact was something else. But it took all three of those factors in order to get the kids.
I could see that
to where they need to be. So, it was a perfect storm of quality guys, doing quality work.
Yeah, I could see how you were like that person that he needed to vent off to, you were kind of that vent for him.
Yeah, and also he's got so many other things like we all do. I mean, he has a son in high school that's a really good high school basketball player, and every night I would be like, just leave. Like, I'll finish. I'll finish up the weights. I'll take care of the stuff in the locker room. I'll do the tape for the practice. I'll stat them. Just leave and go because I had a kid in high school that played football. His senior year was. Shoot, last year when I was there, it was his senior year, and just the scramble to get out there to go watch him play, that pressure, and I tried to take that off coach the best I could, so he could go see his kid hoop, because that's you don't want to miss that. So it was a perfect storm of some guys who just really wanted to do right by kids.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, Kim here, and thanks for joining me for Riddle Me This. How many months in the year have 28 days? Stay tuned for the answers.
Hi, this is Sally with some good news for you. Indian and Russian scientists have solved one of the major issues of our food industry, the use of non-recyclable packaging. They've created an all-natural edible food wrap that is safe for both people and our planet. The food wrap was made by combining derivatives from algae and cinnamon, creating a strong and more rigid packaging that helps prolong foods and keep them fresh. Almost 90% of the packaging will dissolve after 24 hours in water. The scientists say it doesn't require any special equipment to make, and the results can be easily replicated. This may be the solution our Earth needs to reduce plastic waste. Here is yet another story of someone doing the right thing. When Michael King withdrew $10,000 for a business debt, he accidentally left it on his bumper along with his wallet. As he drove off, Steve Harrison happened to be heading the opposite direction and realized there was cash flying off King's car. He managed to collect all the money, including the wallet that helped him identify King. Harrison shared that the thought to keep the money didn't even cross his mind, as the easier thing to do was to be honest. When he gave the money back to King, King surprisingly gave him a jar of applesauce that he and his family made with love and care. He also promised to give Harrison homemade jam, homemade smoked salmon, and many more homemade items in the future. Although the reward wasn't at all what was expected, Harrison is guaranteed to have some homemade treats for many times to come. Thanks again for joining us today for some good news.
Hey everyone, this is Kim and welcome back to Riddle Me This. How many months in the year have 28 days? The answer is all of them. Every month has at least 28 days. Thanks for joining me for Riddle Me This.
This is Kim.
This is Tracy.
And thanks for watching
SmartFox TV.
Stay foxy.